Running
Okay, you're on.
live. Good.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna call to order the Port of Allen Public Water System Advisory Committee regular meeting for April 1st, 2026. So call to order. So the first thing is pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call. Jeff Carey
Jim Freeman.
and Scott will be out. This meeting, we excused him.
Yeah.
Right, no.
Last meeting, so.
Yeah, he said he'd be gone, so he's excused for this meeting. Okay, approval of agenda. Any thoughts, any additions, any subtractions?
Oh, looks right to me, and accept it as written,
Pardon me?
yeah, looks fine.
I entertain a motion,
I make a motion to accept as written.
and I'll second it. All those in favor? Aye.
I,
Okay,
Signature.
minutes. A couple things on that one. Think,
Oh, you just approve the agenda, you can do them.
oh yeah. Hold on a sec. There you go, my copy. There was nothing, incorrect about the minutes, it's just some clarification. When you go, 5 years past down the line and look at it and say, what the heck? Okay, where did it go? There's this change. We can. Okay. On the, a couple of notes, it might be a little clarification, is on page 2 of 3, first paragraph there. Where it says the shipping date for the final parts. We weren't talking about JDK, we were talking about the consolidation, right?
Yes,
Any words that would go to that effect, I think, because it looks like we're talking about JDK. Unless you want to make it as bullet points or something like that.
it's in the old business sections, third paragraph.
First paragraph, top 2 of 3. Where it says final part,
Oh, yeah, I see where she did.
under old business, third paragraph.
I'll just strike that, there's no reason to have that in there then.
Are you fine with that?
yep, I agree.
So, okay, so we got a strike on that, and the whole line. The whole line, Travis,
Yeah, the whole line, starting with the shipping date, ending with mid of April.
you got it?
Yeah.
I think 2 things here, 2 more. Third line, third paragraph, where it says Kerry commented that if the port was to do this. I think wasn't quite. Was this dealing with,
Where are we at this time, Jeff?
third paragraph, page 2 of 3,
Okay, so old business,
Right.
first paragraph.
right, third line. Where it says, starts off, Kerry commented. Was this? When I was talking about making everything the same, the only thing I was thinking about, or what ran through my mind was as-bills, but.
Oh, so it's basically, it's referring to the welfare. Developer extension manual, and it has to try and tailor some of it to fit the port's water policy. Kerry commented that if the port was to do this, it would make everything look the same, make everything look the same.
Okay,
For the port's water policy,
okay,
with the new additions from the extension.
fair. I could leave it then that way.
I gotta read it again too, because, Tiffany puts our minutes together and I just read through them and.
Yeah. No. Well, and I'm looking at the minutes like, 4 or 5, a few years down the road, you look at it, does it, can you make any heads or tails of it?
Yeah, no, that's important.
I think I got one more thing here. On the second paragraph under old business. Oh, where it says run single, the fourth line in the second paragraph where it says you could run single. We're, we're talking about the straps on the sides.
There's a section of strap should be, say, double saddles, not single. If you're running iron dark goal, then it just comma, you could run single, but if you were running PVC or concrete, you would want to run double straps. So it's still referring to straps.
Okay, you want to just, we'll add the word straps in there, so. Right after single. And that's all I have.
Okay.
Anything you have?
No, it's fine.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion with the 2 corrections.
I'll second that.
No, you can make the motion.
Okay.
Because we were short one,
All right.
second,
All right, go for it. So I gotta make the motion
make the motion
to accept the minutes with the corrections that have been,
with the 2
made.
corrections, yeah,
2 corrections that have been made. All right, I make that motion.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so yeah, it'll be a little awkward tonight, that's the way it is, so, okay, good, that was a mess. Okay. Reports and announcements, report staff. Travis,
Oh. Announcements, right, waiting on, Drinking Water State Revolving Fund to sign our additional fundage request, which has already been approved by management. They just have upper management send it out, so waiting on that.
that's the approving of the
Yeah, they looked at
map
it
for the,
yesterday. I'll harass them if I haven't seen it by Friday. That's for the addition,
right, that's the additional, that's the for additional amount, because it
Right.
was a result of the,
right?
Quote.
Additional amount for you to,
okay,
construction, costs increasing.
right,
Have they been pretty easy to work with,
Yeah, for the most part,
pretty easy to navigate all?
you know, and when there's been, you know, things that weren't quite right, I was able to at least point out, through email change and stuff, hey, this is what we already discussed, and they were like, oh, yeah, okay, and they,
Okay,
accepted that, but,
sure.
it's just like working with any, agency. There's,
They have their,
they have their ways and things have to be exactly tuned to what they're looking for, so sometimes it takes a little more time to get it done. But, no, worked out pretty well, they were able to give us that, approval fairly quickly. And, just waiting on the final signature now, so. We did have our pre-construction meeting for the consolidation today. We had in attendance, Commissioner Curtin, Commissioner Scott, Jeff Carey, Brandon Ryan with, Laporte, who does the, water inspections on our, infrastructure installs. Brad Appleman with, Pape and Sons, who's the project manager. And, we also had Mike Michaels, their engineer there. And I think it was really a good process to have Mike there with Brad, because I think they hammered out quite a bit of things that
right, there's that great,
were unsaid, kind of tacit in the work.
right, it's like a schematic, there's the drawings, there's all that kind of thing, but when you actually look at where in the wall you put things,
sure,
there's a little bit of reality check, and then things that you can do. One, to make it easier for them on construction, 2, make it easier for maintenance. Mike Michaels didn't, couldn't see that, but I mean,
Right.
he designed it. So functionally, it's gonna still do all the same things, it's just a slightly different way they. Instead of being on one wall where it's a little more busy, they're gonna be on the other wall, which is a little easier to access,
sure.
that kind of stuff, so. And also it looks like there might be a couple opportunities to, maybe reduce couple costs potentially.
Yeah, no, we did figure some things that should be able to reduce some costs.
Great.
Which, it doesn't always happen until you put those two people in the same room.
Right.
Hands on and minds on.
Right.
Other than that, it's really about all I've got. Should be a heck of a report next month. Consolidation could be complete by then.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's
Hey,
amazing.
yeah, they're starting on Monday. We're gonna do a shut off on, Wednesday, the 8th. For a small period of time and to install some Ts. Then, the valve is supposed to show up on the 8th as well, so everything's just kind of falling into place.
Well,
Good.
they have all the parts except that one.
Yeah, that one part, but it's scheduled for delivery on the 8th from California on a truck, so.
No, it'll go great, so.
That's all I got for port announcements, reports.
I don't really have anything other than I started kind of looking at a couple water systems plans, but I got nothing to, really say on it yet. Some ideas, and I've bounced a couple off of Travis as potential approach, but we'll talk more about it when we, especially when Scott's here, so we,
Sure.
all three of us discuss it. Just ideas, so. Anyway, old business. Water system plan updating, water system plan, update planning. And this is working on the draft for Allyn Development Extension Manual and specs. And that's the material you sent to us, right?
Yes, yeah.
I did have something on that, Jeff, so on the specs, we never finished the actual drawing part of it, because Scott had to leave or something, wanted to
Right.
go on.
Yeah.
Did we ever make a decision on what piping port actually wanted to put in for their mains? Cause it'll have to be maybe modified off of
You're
that
right.
sheet, so.
I think that where we left that, and I don't know if Travis has had the time, was that we were going to just look at generally what's costing us to, do 8-inch ductile iron versus 8-inch C900. That was one thing I remember.
Okay,
I don't know if Travis even got to that.
No, that's cost analysis and the difference between the two pipes.
We did hear today that like on a 6-inch, it's going for this consolidation on the backside. That it's running, what did he say, 35? 39 or 35, I can't remember.
Yeah, 6 inches, 39.
Yeah, 39 a foot. So it's
that's just for the pipe.
just for the pipe.
Not, but that was for C900, wasn't it?
No, that
was for duct.
6-inch ductile. So that's,
Yeah, we'll have to make sure before we finish this whole process that we figure out what piping we
Yeah.
wanna use.
I'd agree. Yeah, I mean,
I think everything else was pretty much done on that, was it not? On
yeah,
the,
we're talking about from the last meeting.
yeah, from the drawing part of it, I think we kind of went through everything except the piping itself.
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay.
It could be the activity, it's like you push through the day and then
Yeah.
it's like the last 30 minutes here trying to get here and being a couple minutes late. it's like,
Sure,
Ah,
I mean, we covered the fire hydrant, we covered
Yes.
a lot, so I think that was the only thing hanging.
so. Okay, so there was like a 9 or 10 page and then there was it looked like to me it was more of a text thing and then the 21 page, which is more of the spec.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we covered the specs last meeting except for the piping, is that accurate?
Yeah, we did cover the specs. So
The drawings, or I think we were,
Um. This is more nitty gritty kind of thing. Question, the footage there, I remember you telling me what it was.
oh, that graph in there?
Where they have like the 6 or 8 and it was 40 foot, 60 foot, 70 foot, what was that?
Yeah, they needed that buried, so the pipe wouldn't move, it needed that much
Oh.
buried, length.
Before the
before you set the,
thrust block at the end of it?
yeah, before you set the valve and
Okay.
start, there was something about that, I think that's.
No, that sounds, I mean, I
think
remember,
that's-
yeah, I remember it was, I mean, the person that read it didn't know for sure, and then you said it, and as soon as you said it again, it's like, okay.
I think it was the berry before the valve, it said, yeah.
Okay. And another thing, I noticed, and I'll find it here shortly, but I noticed like here we have a test, at 250, and somewhere else we have a test at 100. In this document.
There is two separate testing, that's interesting. I think 250 is AWWA
Yeah,
spec.
yeah,
I'll be honest with you, I don't normally test at that. I normally go 100 pounds over static.
yeah, no, a lot of
So,
people do.
yeah, if static's 50, I would go to 150 and make sure it holds. I
Okay.
think that's pretty common.
I know when they did the C900 run here on Compass and that, they did do 200.
200, yeah, 250, if you keep, now AWD is 250 for an hour, I think they
Yeah.
want it to hold, which is pretty intense.
Yeah,
But 250 is the max pressure that those fittings and everything rated at.
so get,
Yeah, so
So, I've never felt like. we
that
should
seems,
test it.
that seems a little extreme to be tested in your top.
well, there's, when you go across a state highway. There is a number they want, you hit.
That's the state, yeah, they got their own set of
Right.
that kind of supersede.
Well, and it comes a couple different ways. One comes from transportation and one comes from ecology if it's a sewer.
Mhm.
And because we had the discussion up here on a sewer line where they wanted across the road, a private road. The spec called out like 200 pounds for X hours.
Wow,
And so I contacted, on behalf of the developer, contacted ecology. Explained them the situation. And it was almost like nobody ever calls it. No, it was so happy to talk to me.
Right.
It was like, wow, okay, this is workable. So I explained the situation to him and I can't remember, I forwarded some prints to him, and then he said, no, there's no reason that'd be at that number, we should back it off. So he gave a number was significantly less, it's like 100. And because the whole line itself, it was on a grinder line, so it couldn't go above 40.
right, so yeah, that makes sense.
And so
You're
anyway,
doubling and then some.
yeah, so anyway, the college actually wrote a letter to, or email to me, and they forwarded it to the county to allow them to, do a 100-pound test instead of 200.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why there's conflict in there, but that's really when you're out there at the site. And you're doing the pressure test, you'll be there during the pressure test, in
Yeah.
the district, and you can just tell them that.
If you give me a second, I think I can find this, I'm sure I marked it.
You wanna sign this one, Jeff?
Yeah, I made some
Yeah.
corrections here, Jeff, in the review.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Sorry.
Okay. You get. Perfect.
One thing's good, if we did wanna go C900, which is what it is. The fittings and all that's the same,
Yeah,
valves, all that,
Yeah.
are then the same as the duct on it, so. That's a good thing.
you might have to sign that one too, or did you?
I did.
Yeah, okay, good. Give me a second, and let me just see if I can find that test. Pretty sure I highlighted it. It was. I have some questions on the boxes. When we get to that here in a minute. It's not, because it's not my intention. Well, I'll come to it some more.
There
I
are
mean-
two different style boxes, one for traffic and non-traffic, so.
That part I understood, that was clear. Okay, so one question is, do we want this to still say 250 then on the test, or we want 200 or?
Are we in the design portion or?
Yeah, and like on page D2, or
I'll
whatever.
be honest, I would err on the side of that. Make the judgment call when you're standing out there actually doing the pressure test. The guys are gonna be like, what do you wanna run this up to? You can make a decision at that. You're gonna be physically, you should be physically there at the pressure test. So, it's whatever you wanna do, you can change 200 or
200 for 90 minutes, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Before,
90s, an hour and a half.
yeah, so or is it just? I know that's the
I know-
pressure that we did on,
You did that on the last phase,
no, not on that, I don't know what they did on that page.
hour and a half seems heavy.
And
It was long on the one that
I
they
know
did on
the Kensap
Compass.
housing one was, I think it was 290 minutes or 225 at 90 minutes from those statistics.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, whatever you wanna put down there, just fine.
I just find if there's things that are rated for 250, why would you push it?
I don't agree with that, I think it should be 200 or 100 over static or whatever you wanna put on there. But it doesn't matter to me, and
Maybe I should say based on a pressure test of 100 PSI over static or engineer specifications.
it could certainly say
I'm
that,
fine with that.
100 over static. And for how long?
You usually do it for an hour at 100 over static, right?
I do, yeah. Quite frankly, maybe 45 minutes, but yeah.
No, yeah, whatever,
90
whatever,
seems heavy.
whatever it's called out.
Oh,
Oh. Okay, so that's that, so. We didn't, in the last drawing, when we met the last time, we did not have a drawing like on this, automatic flushing device.
the first set did not have
Yeah.
that one, and the sample station's been added, yes.
So, couple questions. I mean, I see how to do it, I see that works. I mean, have you put any of these in Belfair? Yeah,
My last company I did, but not yet. There is one going in on the next development.
okay, so the last company we worked for, where I'm going is this. Technically speaking, the county's always charge a connection fee for the, anything that connects up to the sewer.
Okay, so, yeah, this doesn't connect to the sewer, this will go to storm,
Oh, is this
Sure.
storm?
yeah.
It's just, well, I guess I assume by saying sewer pipe.
Which portion?
Yeah, the sewer pipe would just be, they usually use that 4-inch green pipe, what,
DO6,
DO6?
yeah, they normally take that, green sewer pipe, lots of times it's just out on the top into a ditch, an open ditch, but it depends on where you're at.
okay, so it's not tying it. What locked me into it was I saw the word sewer pipe, and so I didn't.
I don't even have DO6, it's not tying into,
Anything,
into the, no.
it basically runs.
So the one that's going in now or soon to be, this is above ground
Yeah.
advice. And there's a parking lot
Yeah,
there that
yeah.
has a storm catch basin and stuff.
Yeah.
This thing's sitting up on a little hill.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna have the drain pipe go out across the parking lot when it does do its flushing. It could also go to a ditch.
right. The reason, and I know why it also caught my attention this way, because of the way we have the cutoff drawing, it looks like you're coming with solid pipe to it. You know, like tight line, and so,
You could, I have
No.
put them in where you put them into the storm culverts.
yeah,
You knock a hole in the side
Yeah.
of the catch basin and dump it in there. I have done that.
yeah.
But sewer, no.
These are designed and drawn as going into the sewer.
Well, not sewer, you could go into the storm drain.
What I would say,
Or you can just put it above ground, it's above ground unit, it could dump out into a ditch swell. Or down a parking lot into a catch basin on the top of the surface.
so a couple things. should we not, a couple points. Where it says 6-inch PVC sewer, just say 6-inch PVC 34.
Yeah, that's what they really meant.
Yeah,
That's what they really meant, the green 30-34.
So 6-inch PVC 34, not sewer.
no,
30-30, 30-34.
right.
3034.
Then that, and remove the word sewer, that way you're not thinking it,
Yeah,
and then. I just put a note on the end of this, can be can be tied into ditch, culvert, catch basin. Like the
Yeah.
3 different things.
yes, absolutely.
You hear what I'm saying on that, Travis?
Yeah, so it can,
Like a,
should be in the notes section.
well, or it could be a flag on the end of this to just point, circles and identifies, see how like down below you have like a 1-inch clean rock, note. Just a note of, the three possibilities,
And some of the-
daylight to a storm drain, storm ditch, daylight to a culvert, daylight to a catch basin.
Right,
And
and the engineer they'll be out there, they'll have all the grades and everything and what
Yeah.
it'll have to go to.
Oh, yeah.
That
But
they'll
at least if
decide.
you have 3, you can kind of cover. They can look at the options, depending on the grade.
They're not super common, but they're very handy on a dead end line with
No,
only a
and-
couple homes.
I'd have a few of those.
It's pretty nice.
So daylight to storm drain, catch basin, or
Um, culvert, storm drain, or storm ditch, culvert, or catch basin. Um. I see this word controller. Does that mean this is like,
It's really, this whole device is really, a 2-inch large, it's a large 2-inch electric irrigation valve. That's all it is, like
Okay.
a normal, it's run off a little battery, and then it's set on a timer like an irrigation
Okay.
system. And it just comes on and off.
so when you're measuring. Okay, so. When you're looking at this device and you need to determine water loss. Do you just know what your pressure is, know how long the automatic valve is going to release water?
No,
And
I don't
know
know
how
how
much-
much copy.
Know how much it releases each time it
There
releases?
should be a meter installed with,
Okay,
and you would not charge the developer the meter connection or anything.
right,
This should be for
right.
your
It's for your
purpose.
purpose.
So you would put in an 1.5 inch meter or something to catch this flow.
Cause I don't see a meter in here
no,
whatsoever.
And you could put on it to be installed with 1.5 inch meter, but then it gets a little weird because you're not charging for the meter.
Right.
The connection, you're not charging any of that.
So it'd be a non-charged meter connection, metering device.
Yeah, and I'd probably go 1.5 inch or 2, whatever, about the same money. And then put a 2-inch setter in, and a 2-inch meter, and then that would be your record. Or water loss.
Okay.
And also, that's gonna be the same subject matter on the sample station. You should have
They have a meter.
it should have a meter also,
right, um,
and that'll be just a little one, 5 3/4
so,
samples.
this, the UV was just, and I'm not trying to be picky, but I'm trying to get this down so that.
Oh, I agree, oh, we just added this, so
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah, it's pretty new to me.
Okay, so like, the case would have to be insulated, right, because this is like open.
It actually shuts off, I don't have that copy in my stack here, but I believe the shut off.
Oh, so there's an automatic drain.
There is a cold unit version and a warm unit version. This is the cold
Right.
weather version. And that green box that's on top, the cover,
Yeah.
is the same one that all the
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
companies
Yeah.
use and everything.
No, but so we don't have to worry about water being up in there because the automatic drain,
Yes,
that's an, okay, fine.
So the developer still pays for the meter.
no,
No,
you would
you
supply,
pay.
the district would supply the meter. Yeah,
And that's the same on the sampling station, sounds like the. Sampling station, if it's required, are you bearing the cost of that, or?
Yes, there's no fee for tap, and you would give him the, what I've been doing
Right.
on the one we've done so far. Hey, here's the center, here, you know, we'll come up with the meter in, here's some poly pipe, here's this, here's that. Go ahead and,
So you might ask the developer to put a tap in.
yes, and he might charge you, hey, I'm gonna get you $300 to run the pipe or something, okay. But you would kind of supply everything else to get to there, but he would supply the automatic flusher and get all that.
Yeah, the automatic flusher, it's just the meter
Yeah.
portion of the automatic flusher.
Yes,
Do we, okay, so
district to supply, you
Go ahead.
know, whatever.
I'll wait till you're done.
I just finished our water use efficiency report, so yes, keeping track of this stuff actually adds up. There would be with that flusher, there would be, and I hope it's on there, they make an accessory that is for the dechlorination tablets. It should say dechlor on there somewhere.
Get a dechlor basket.
Okay, that's perfect, you need that. The technician would have to go out there once a month or something to see how the dechlors are doing and refill the basket and make sure it's not leaking by or something, and once a month, the technician would have to check that, Travis.
Going to your sampling station.
What page is that?
D07. My general question is, do those have to be insulated or?
No, they actually, they have and how I'm working it is, so everything's tied in underneath.
Right, I
Of
see
course, the
that.
piping, and then this above ground,
Right,
there is a valve in there. There's a rod that comes up,
I see a sampling valve.
yeah. There's a rod. It's just not in the picture. They didn't get in the picture. There's a rod that comes up and it stops short and it's got a little T handle on it. And what we've been doing is 99% of the year, we just leave it on and then the normal valve up top.
Right.
But hey, we're gonna get into an Arctic blast
Yeah.
or a freezing event.
Yeah,
We go around and shut them off. Then that drains the stem pipe.
so it's almost like a frost-free hose bin.
Yeah, so we shut them off. Like this year, we didn't shut any off.
Yeah,
Even though we had a few freezing.
yeah, but it wasn't,
But,
yeah,
so we didn't shut any off this year, so that would be minimal, but the ones that
Okay.
number that's down below. This model numbers, it's very long, it's very important, it tells you what color it is, it tells you if it's, got the valve in there.
I used to work in logistics, and so we had manufactured wire, for assemblies. And so you had all this pre-cut and pre-stripped, and certain things had to be stripped at certain lengths.
Right,
So we actually had part numbers, like about 13 character part numbers that described this piece of wire.
right, that's what this is.
Yeah,
So it'll shut off, it'll have a shut off
okay.
if you want it.
Well, if you're putting a meter in a setter, you got a valve in effect.
You could shut it off there
Yeah,
at the meter
yeah.
if you want, if it was easier. but-
Yeah. Does that make sense to you,
Yeah,
Travis?
And there is other styles of sampling stations.
Oh, yeah.
You did see that one the other day. It is pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice, so that's
It's,
what we're committed to.
right, it's kind of the old rule, the things you have dozens and dozens of, you really want to critique. The things you got one or two or three,
Right,
if it does the job, that's fine, yeah. What was they showed 5? Oh,
so on that, you'd have to put on their district to supply meter,
Yeah.
et cetera.
Yep.
Too.
oh, for the,
Sample.
sampling station.
yeah. You tell me when you're ready and I'll go to the next one.
We're,
On page F01 on the fire hydrant. It says there's a 4-inch Stoltz.
Storage adapter, that's a
Yeah.
little adapter.
Right, aren't they 5 on this, in this kind?
Okay, so here's what I've learned about the storage adapters.
Okay,
Because we had 5-inch. We
yeah,
also had 4-inch.
okay,
So I went down to the local fire station.
right,
And talked with them down there, which they're great people. And they go, no, we want 4-inch. I said, okay,
huh,
I've got a bunch of 5-inch out there, but if you want 4, we're gonna swap everybody out and get everybody on 4, so we're standardized. That's what I did. Then I had the fire marshal come to the group meeting and he was talking and he kind of likes 5-inch. So
Yeah.
then that's where I'm still confused. But that's my spec because that's what we went with,
Right.
and then that certainly can be changed, but maybe there's clarification needs to be done. Cause
Yeah.
I'm on both sides, I don't know.
yeah, I think, Travis, that one we need just to check with, either the fire marshal, well, the fire marshal is saying it's 5. What I wanna really know is, okay, what's in the field? I mean, what are they running into?
Yeah, there's still a lot of hydrants that don't have any,
Oh, yeah,
like,
Yeah.
like the neighboring up there, they don't hardly have any,
Yeah.
but the other district that I'm at. Is completely changed out to 4,
Yeah.
everything's 4.
Oh, 4-inch adapters on the main
On the port, the main port,
port, not the side ports, for those
No.
2.5s.
they would stay.
Yeah. But that needs to be clarified with, like Mason, Central, the district we're in, just to make sure. Then we don't have another problem with them.
Yeah, cause.
Yeah, whatever.
That was not, yeah, they're expensive.
No, you just want, and you don't want them coming to it like, oh crap. Because, things are happening fast, and it's like, the last thing I wanna do is, I gotta get the adapter.
Yeah, they got adapters to get the.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be nice if the port could get standardized on
Yeah.
what they do want.
Yeah, so we need to check with, Mason Central, the District 5.
And what, is that just called the main storage adapter or
Pumper port
pumper
is the
port?
true, yeah. Pumper port, it's the one on the face of the hydrant and it's a Storts adapter. STORTZ, I think. And the size of it. Because you can tell them, I'm 4 and.
Cause they're either, right now it's written with a 4, but we need to make sure that that's okay.
Right, because I know
Yeah.
when we built the building years ago, I thought it was 5. But yeah, that's fine, but. Other than that, that was that,
And you did make your notes about the check valve on the fire hydrant, right? That's really the kicker, which I think we covered last.
we
time.
covered last night,
Okay,
I saw that and I said,
Both on check.
didn't we talk
I've got
about that?
that note.
Yeah.
okay.
Um. On the single adapter fire service connector, this is F02, is that a residential or commercial?
Yeah, 2, that's if I got
Cause it
it.
looks big,
Yes, this would be for like apartment complex or store or something like that. This is a detector assembly. So the little side bypass there would have a meter in it.
right,
Yeah,
okay,
and then.
but
that's
so,
what that is.
so what I'm saying is. Fine, just, when they have this, it's, this is kind of a commercial type.
Yes.
Multifamily or commercial,
Yeah, this would be a large or a large apartment or
Right.
a building or as far as stores or something like that, yes, warehouses.
so I'm just saying that as far as for you and your predecessor, Travis. Is something that just kind of classifies it, so you don't. You don't think about this, it's residential, like, for example, if they end up. Requiring sprinklers up there in that corner of the hill because of the distance.
Right.
We don't need to put this, but.
No,
just-
there is another
Yeah,
section
I
for
saw that,
residential.
yeah, I saw that. I just wanted to make sure,
The one thing that probably clarification needs to be made here, and it might not ever affect you guys. But the old standard, the old way of thinking was they would build a little mechanical room on the outside of the apartment building or something and put all this stuff in there. This, probably the last 10 years, all districts are going to, we don't wanna deal with inside the building, and this piping is still kind of ours to
Yeah.
the device and stuff. It's a little gray area. So everybody is making them put in these vaults outside in the ground, you put it in the parking lot, wherever, flower beds. And then run your piping into your building.
That was-
Everything stops
that was kinda-
outside.
That's, when we were doing the, memory care. Remember when we were running through that, trying to
Yeah.
figure that's kind of this,
Yeah, that was one of the problems is they
Yeah.
didn't leave any room to put a vault in.
yeah,
They literally. They literally had the meter box literally sandwiched between the power transformer and something else.
yeah, there was like little or no wiggle room.
The apartments up there on the hill, they have some of these that are literally in the parking lot,
Right,
so.
and they're just vault boxes that you open the lid to get access. They're not so big you climb in them.
You can,
Looks
yeah,
like this,
absolutely, they're big.
this one, they gotta
They're big.
climb it, they gotta climb it,
And
this
they-
ladder here.
I saw that and I was like, am I sure that's a ladder?
Yeah, that's big, and they gotta get in there once a year to test the backflow preventers.
But this is for a commercial application.
Yeah,
Residential
commercial.
application is
It-
one you.
It's in
Right.
your later, it's in your later. And I'd like to talk about that when we get
Maybe.
there. You don't know, maybe they do build that big hotel
Yeah.
that they keep talking about over here on the water, that's where this would come into play.
Only green, right?
Now, can't go there, it's a public
That's
meeting.
That's as far as I'm going to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, okay, tell me when I can move on.
I'm okay,
Yeah.
Travis is okay on that particular.
Yeah.
We're gonna come to it later on,
Okay, I see
Travis.
the residential
Yeah.
sprinkler meter.
Let's just come to it when we come to
Okay,
it. On G01. Question, because I've never seen anybody really test. Like, where we say you want 95% compaction, okay?
They don't, they don't, I'm
Yeah.
just telling you right now.
No, I haven't seen it. So the question I'm saying is, you know,
Your guy is going to be there.
Yeah.
The guy, I would make sure there's some decent bedding down there, I would
Yeah.
make sure there's some decent bedding around the pipe. And I'd make sure that, they're compacting it and just go ahead.
Yeah.
There's no.
I've only seen it done once. And that was in North Dakota. And actually, they wanted it compacted so tight, but not only the compaction, but then they wanted a certain moisture.
yeah.
You have to get it to compact.
Good, you get it to that 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
95%.
just ignore that. This is in here. It's
Fine.
one of those things, but when you're out there in the field, it's. Yeah,
Well, I mean, the clean compactor only give you like 2 inches of material at a time.
most of the guys have the compactors on.
And the
those
jumping
machines.
jack
They come
ones.
around on the excavators, they got the.
Okay.
They
yeah.
come around, they get it, pretty real.
So they put that bedding down, then they'll put the pipe.
And maybe where I'm seeing this is in our writing. I'm sorry, I'm not remembering each step here, but like when we come into the pipe separations here, which I no disagreement on them. But somewhere in one of the documents, and I believe it's probably in your 9-page or 10-page write-up, the
Okay.
written portion. It talks about 24-inch separation in between pipes. Hold on a second.
So this is 5 foot minimum here,
No, and it says 18-inch minimum,
height wise, yeah.
and I'm saying somewhere else we say 24 is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I haven't seen 24 minimum. On the minimum separation.
I think it's-
That's with two separate.
Between elevations,
I think it was in this.
I haven't seen 24, I've only seen the 18,
People,
Yeah.
and there was two separate engineers that did the,
Yeah. might be. So you're saying in the,
extension agreement here.
Where did I see it? Oh. What, 944, 9.4.4.
Oh, right here, did you see that? I'm at hydrostatic testing, 200 PSI for 60 minutes. It says it in the written part here.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah, let's go, I'll change that. on the-
Okay, so
Yep, I'll get that maneuvered.
I don't know why there's an acceptable fluctuation of ±5, but it's still in there, so.
So 200 at 16.
I don't know why there's plus or
I'm
minus.
always kind of a believer, just reference something so you don't have to worry about what the number is. You go back to, like whoever the source is, so to speak.
But that's fine. Okay, so what page are you on?
Page 12 of 44, item bullet point, or point, 9.4.4. Third line there, it says 24 inches. Water and sewer separation. We want 18, right? As the minimum.
No,
Wastewater, roof mains. Yeah, so that is a conflict between these two written. I don't see why that.
So it should just say a minimum of 18 inches, because DOE, Department of Ecology expect.
yeah, 18 inches was the department, well, respect.
Which is what's here, 18 inches.
Yeah. I agree, but over here in the written part,
It says 24 inches above. Well, you know what, to be honest, I would leave it. This says 18 inches minimum. I don't know,
I just clean it up so you don't confuse.
yeah. Which one you wanna change?
I
I
want,
wanna change this line part or?
no, I want to change to 20, all I would add, it should be a minimum of or minimum of 18 inches instead of 24.
Yeah, that would be a lot cheaper to change
Yeah.
this one. than
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other. Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't, I wanna go for the least changes that cover the most ground.
Okay, so changing it in the developer's extension manual to 18.
Yeah, minimum of 18. Then that matches everything.
Yes.
And I bet that's where I saw that other test, but anyway, that's fine. Okay. Were we supposed to be trying to show a number here?
What page are you on? Oh, you're still on the same one?
Yeah,
Okay.
DO2, or it doesn't really matter. Well,
Where you at?
GO2,
Yeah, I'm there. What was it?
we have different distances. There is no minimum depth on the sewer.
10 foot.
No, that
Separation.
separation.
Yeah,
There's no, but I mean, there's no minimum. It just has to be under the water by this. Okay, and that's fine. I'm
yeah,
cleaning it up much I talk it through,
okay.
so I'm fine with it.
Well, can you explain to me, why is that two separate, measurements there?
Well, the
Oh, you got.
one's like if you have a shelf, an undisturbed shelf, you can be
The
closer.
other one's the whole thing.
Yeah, I got you, okay. Okay,
And then you can have a 5 foot minimum if you've got the undisturbed
Yeah.
shelf.
This is more of a technical question on this 2-inch isolation valve G05.
yeah.
What's this about?
This is about, let's see. This is about your 2-inch services or 1.5 inch services. That's what this is about, so.
Okay,
I don't know, this one here is for your airbag. Is what this one's for, because it's tapped
Yeah.
directly off the top, so this is your 2-inch. Airbags,
so are you saying that this 2-inch should be off like 45?
no, with the airbag.
No, but I'm
Okay.
saying, but as an isolation valve, you're saying this is for like a service of 2-inch, right?
This is not a meter service, no,
Oh.
this is an airbag only.
Okay,
That's what this, so that's why she's coming directly off the top,
Yeah.
but somewhere in here, there should be
I thought I saw that.
a 2-inch service, which might be.
Yeah, you do.
this-
You have 1.5 inch too, and it's coming off the side.
Yes, which would be,
Yeah,
what page are you on for that? Right here, yes.
0.6,
So this would be your service connection on SO2, Travis.
yeah,
So you would have your tap. And then you would have a valve. And that would come all the way up the road with the valve can. And then run over to your meter setter in your meter box. this is great because that's a pretty large line. This also helps for locating in the future. You're like, okay, this is where the tap is for this meter box right here for this apartment. And if anything leaks in between or carries on, or if you have to work on this setter,
Right.
you can come back and shut it off here and not have to dig that main up. It does a lot of things, does locating, repairs, all that stuff.
No, I was fine with that.
Okay,
Then my more, okay, so. But, so this isolation valve is more for the vacuum.
and you're back on the one coming straight off the top. Yes, that would be for your airbags, your 2-inch and 3-inch airbags and stuff.
So is it just for airbags, so there's other type?
No, that's pretty much what it would be.
Yeah, so it's just a 2-inch isolation valve. And maybe it even should say 4 airbags.
Yeah, and they probably. And there should be a section in here for the airbags, which would
I thought there
go back
was.
to that, and it might refer back to that page. It might,
Cause there would be no other reason to install this type of isolation valve for any other parties,
no,
not even for like, a blow off or anything.
no. No, you never come off the top, you're just trying to catch that air.
This, D03, I bet.
And what's great about that,
Yep.
Travis, your can and everything, you'd be right there by the main. And if that airbag, which boy, sometimes they stick open and carry on, you can just go right over there and shut that
Shut
off
that off.
with a regular valve key
And
and.
then deal with
Do-
the fact that it's sticky.
Yeah, do the repairs, it's a common, but it does happen.
Yeah, the airbag's on page D04.
Deal 4. And then does it say refer back to
I'm looking, but I'm not seeing it.
GO5? Isolation valve adjacent fittings per standard detail GO5, which is that page that you were.
Okay, fine.
Yep,
Okay,
Question,
GO5 or GO6, right?
yeah, cause one's a 3-incher and one's a 2-incher. And 3-inch would only be like 12-inch,
Well, yeah.
18-inch pipe. You probably won't get into much of that. But 2-inch, common. What's that, Jeff?
just a second, do we have any electrolysis problem where we're going from brass to galvanized?
No, brass is actually your insulator more than anything.
Okay.
Copper to galvanize, you have problems, but actually brass is really known as
The glue.
yeah, the equalizer, it neutralizes.
Okay. Because I know that you pulled up a galvanized pipe off of a 2-inch blow off. And it only been down there, 5 years and it was,
It looks rough.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, it looks rough. It gets the galvanizing, it's just, it's
Yeah.
rough.
okay.
Yeah, but you on poly pipe here a little
Yeah.
bit, kind of maintaining some kind of grade. Yeah. Then this airback and everything's kind of in the box, kind of above ground, almost kind of, you're in the box there.
Um. mhm. We'll go back one, I think, to step into the pressure reducer station.
Which is what number?
D03. Just a second,
You said B03?
right,
Or D, it's D as in David.
oh, David, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now this you guys are dealing with now, or you're not? With the,
In a different effect. than we
Okay.
got.
Yeah, it's a combination valve, so it's pressure reducing and pressure regulating.
yeah, I'll be honest with you, the engineers kind of deal with all this, they'll read this, but they'll get it spec'd in, everything will go through. It's,
So for us, okay, I know, okay, like item number 1 talks about 12-inch iron cast coupling. But all our stuff's gonna be 8, right?
like 12-inch depth, what number are you on?
Item number 1 on these.
901, 12-inch cast iron coupling, Romac 501. 12-inch is the length of that coupling of a 501.
No, it's not diameter.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
that
not
diameter, so that's just kind of weird. And what I'm saying, the engineer's gonna clean up a lot of this. What you wanted to
Well, no,
specify.
no, it's, here's the problem. See, number 3 says 12 inch to 6 inch. So that's diameter.
12 inch to 8 inch diameter reduced.
Yeah, I don't know where they came up with that. So what you wanted to make sure is
The pieces and all that,
you can't do all the plumbing. The engineer's gonna do all this plumbing.
right?
What you wanted to make sure that they did have was the gauges in here. Hey, you gotta
Yeah.
make sure you got gauges on
Yeah.
both sides of your PRV. You gotta make sure there's a strainer in here, number 9. You gotta make sure there's a strainer before the clay valve. All that stuff is accessories. That's what you don't want them to miss.
Right, okay, so
Um,
technically on that, and I don't disagree.
all this other stuff, they will do the,
So like where it talks about, and there's like this reference to daylighting for the drain.
yeah, it's great if you can do that, but sometimes you
No,
can't.
that's what I'm getting at, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's great if you can.
They just have to be aware that, okay, daylight, but if you can't, then you're gonna have to bring power or do
Yes,
something.
and that's what we're telling them on those detector vaults. Like at the apartments and stuff, they've got to put power in all them, which they have.
So do we need to, is it adequate just to say sump pump, then everybody knows, oh crap, we gotta bring power?
And you certainly could in there if, you know,
I mean,
yeah, drainage pump required or something.
I mean, you have it here, it says, provide alternate sump and sump pump
Okay.
detail.
You wanna make sure like you get the galvanized, or you get the ladder in
Yeah,
there, you
yeah.
wanna make sure you got that stuff, but the actual plumbing part of it, the engineers will deal with all that. They'll deal with the size of the vaults, they'll deal with all that.
We just want the pieces, so to speak, not
Yeah.
necessarily whether it's 4 inch, 8 inch or whatever. Just so that all the pieces are kind of brought to their attention.
Yeah, strainers and gauges, we need this, we need that, we want a ladder, we want this, we want
Okay,
proper, they'll get it.
Travis and I have had problems with engineers, so that's.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm kind of a little bit picky about it, but that's fine. I mean, I don't disagree.
Yeah, I don't know why they used I don't know why they use sizes, right up here it says main line is 12 inch, I
Yeah.
don't know why they pulled that off. Of what
Cause-
and why they did that, I
Cause
don't,
you could be at a place where you need 16, or you could be,
oh, there's PRVs all the way down to half inch,
Yeah.
I mean, there's,
yeah,
yeah, so. Anyhow,
Okay.
yeah, that's interesting, but I wouldn't get caught in the minutia there.
okay, fine.
You wanna make sure you've got,
The piece,
Well, it has the sizing table here, and then it goes mainline 12, 10, 8, 6. And then it has an address for size shown in this figure. as
oh, yeah,
well.
okay.
So this is showing the 12 inch main scenario, but they use the sizing
There you
table for 10, 8, and 6.
Obviously, I didn't
Yeah.
get to the sizing table.
all that makes sense, that makes,
Yeah, then it allows you to reduce the size of your bypass line and reduce the size of the main PRV valve, depending upon the main line size.
what I would make sure, and I'm trying to find it, what the hatch doors are. You wanna make sure that they're proper and probably a double door, and
That,
that's something that's important.
it talks about,
These are ground vaults.
yeah, but still they have doors. You should have doors.
Yeah, so
I don't see anything on the doors.
precast vault equivalent to utility vault sizing, joints to be installed, shrink grout to test its you. Galvanized ladder. To be honest, I might write on there, double door, something like that. Double hatch door or something. That's how they normally come,
Add spec for door,
yeah.
double door.
Double vault doors, I mean, it's
It-
probably in here, but.
In the most time when you set these up, are you setting this up in traffic areas or out of traffic areas?
It varies,
Okay.
it does vary.
Okay.
We'll try not to, because really you have to get into these PRV pits.
Yeah.
I know I do 2-3 times a year. So
Okay.
you try not to be in the road.
The only place I see it even referring to it is freestanding galvanized steel ladder attached to floor and side of hatch.
Okay, yeah, I think I would try to specify some kind of double door. This is stuff you look at when the drawings come.
Right. Okay. Lucky.
Yeah. And I cannot find spec 27 drawn on here anywhere. Which refers to the steel ladder in the hatch. I see the valve 26.
It's a very
I see the
busy
socket
page.
25, yeah, it's a busy page.
Well, yeah, and the rule I've always come up with is, yeah, see amendments behind. You know, and just add another page with just the, the hatch and ladder.
And keep in mind too, I know in this section of the developer extension manual that they sign and they get a copy of this when they get it.
Right.
There is a section in here that changes can be requested at any time
Right,
by the district and it's subject to change at any time and then they'll put it in the way it is, whatever you want.
right, we're just trying to,
Minimize that. I
yeah,
got you.
yeah,
I got you. But this is a very busy page.
just amendment page. That's at least in electronics industry, when things really got dense. There's just another page behind the page.
Right.
Another page behind that page.
Oh, 27, top picture, Travis. Top picture, middle box.
Oh, there it is, finally.
But. Feel like I'm on one of
But
those
that,
word
it's
searches.
really all that's doing is showing you where the ladder location
go,
is. And then, well, it's kind of hard to show the hatch.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll cross that out. Because what I'll do is I'll take this whole document and I will highlight all the changes, report. And then when we have like removed
Yes.
the portions and add it for the port, he can make those changes. And what he said would take 2 hours, now gonna take 12.
Oh, boy. Got the checkbook. Okay, what's your
No,
next
it won't
one,
take
Jeff?
12.
13.
SO4, the combination.
SO4.
SO4,
Do we,
yep.
like down there at the bottom, it's a little confusing, and
What are you referring to?
well, it says, trying to read it.
Compound meters, not very common. We
Yeah.
probably never use this, but go ahead, Jeff.
Well, the daylight drain. It says if a daylight drain is not available, then what do you do? Some,
Yeah, don't know.
it kind of almost like, I.
Any vaults, I would
Yeah.
have them run power and stuff if you can to
Yeah.
keep them dry.
Yeah. So when we use the same language we used over in the, what was it, the,
The daylight drain about.
pressure reducing station?
Yeah.
When you use the same language, you
Yeah,
have the
with the-
pressure reducing station?
With the pressure reducing station that had that information, provide alternate sump and sump pump
Yeah.
detail.
Wouldn't you just have the same for it?
The compound meters are really designed to pick up extreme low flows and then certainly the high flows once it picks up and it's supposed to fill the void where the meters don't really pick up extreme low flows.
Right.
Like standard meters, but I'll be honest, these new meters are so good now.
Yeah,
The compound meters, I'll be honest, almost obsolete. They're still out there, this and that, but hardly anybody puts.
I'd agree.
So.
All I was saying is when you just have the same language you'd have in them.
Yep, I made that note.
Yeah.
It can be added.
Okay,
Okay. What else, yeah?
rolling along,
Which number are you on the?
I think it's.
Okay.
That's just 6 classification. This is on the residential fire sprinkler
Yeah,
meter.
somewhere it should specify in your. requirements. That if a single family home needs a fire sprinkler system,
Right,
it's a minimum of 1 inch meter.
right,
So that would be 1 inch meter bought for the home.
okay, that way,
And you would also be required to have a flow through system in the home.
right,
So, the cross connection purposes of it. You don't need a backflow preventer if you have a
Okay.
flow through system, but you have a minimum of a 1 inch meter bought to service that home. And they would need to tie that into, so they got their sprinkler system, but they need to tie that into a toilet that would get used, a sink that would get used.
right,
So the water's continually getting pulled through. Now, I just sat in a class last week at a conference. And it was interesting, City of Tacoma's getting into a lot of this.
right,
And they're building more and more out, so more and more homes are needing the fire sprinkler system. And I haven't dealt with much of it, few, 10. But they've got drawings just from the fire sprinkler people that has to get approved, which I've never seen.
right,
That's in the master drawing. And then they're also requiring like 4 or 5 of these connections to create the flow through system.
right,
And instead of the old
Right.
time was just 1 or 2 connections is fine. So you would have to, somewhere in your writings, which I believe is in here, it will say 1 inch minimum is required to purchase for a home with a fire sprinkler system. It's gonna be dual purpose, your potable and your fire sprinkler system. And we're gonna need to see the fire
we're gonna see the
design.
engineering prints.
Yeah, engineering for the fire sprinkler system. And then also they were talking about as your cross connection person, you need to go back in there before they get everything drywalled and make sure, yes, that pipe comes here, just like this drawing. Yes, that pipe goes to this toilet, just like this drawing. You would need to verify that.
Huh,
So,
but would Fort be verifying or,
the fourth.
oh geez,
Yes, and that's how I'm going to handle it now there when, and if that happens. So I'm gonna request, I wanna make sure it's clear, they understand they gotta buy a meter, which is quite a bit more money. For a fire sprinkler system, and then I gotta see the design
right,
of the fire sprinkler system, and then I'm going to make sure that those. Ports for the flow through system is actually there.
prior to drywall,
Prior to drywalling, and then, hey, go for it.
right,
So.
So the engineered drawings for just the fire sprinkler system need to be approved by.
is a requirement.
Yeah, this one said backflow prevention if required, yeah, so it's not always required. They might be required, which is not common, but I've dealt with one of them. To where they wanted fire sprinklers on the outside of the home, around the eaves.
Oh, yeah,
And that system that they designed required antifreeze. So that was not a flow through system, all of a sudden it became in your sprinkler system. And it had antifreeze in it. At that point, then the RP device would have to be installed out here. At the meter box. So I've dealt with one of them. That's why it says if required, it would be out here. By the water main. But that's not
It's
normal
not required in a flow through system
flow through system, no.
without, without using a antifreeze
Yes.
option.
Yes. In the backflow world, they call that chemical injection. Okay, are you okay with everything else here, Jeff? Pretty straightforward, pretty good. I think they're pretty legit.
yeah, no, the rest, the only, and it has nothing to do with water, is that none of our places have curves.
Right, and we're gonna have to talk about the piping. I know you guys want the PVC, we're just gonna try to figure out costs, or do you want to just put them in there? C900 or ductile iron, either one's approved or something, is that how you kind of wanted to go, or?
I think the options should be there, costs tend to fluctuate in all kinds of different directions depending on. How the economy's using products. I mean,
Yeah,
right now, I mean,
PVC might be up.
PVC, with gas prices where they are, if things don't change, could be comparable or more expensive than that.
Right,
One thing, if you don't want to limit it to one particular pipe, I don't think I would limit it to two. Because there is high density polyethylene now.
Right.
Which is incredible pipe. It's incredible, and there's gonna be situations where maybe you need to use that, so maybe you don't limit it.
Yeah, limited it, I think is a bad idea, but having options for. That are all approved methods.
If you don't limit it, you could end up with Schedule 40 PVC and a
Yeah,
bunch
we
of
don't-
weird stuff, we don't wanna go down that path.
we don't want more of that.
I think we should just literally, it should state that Schedule 40 PVC is not okay.
Yeah.
It's Schedule 80 or better.
You could put C900 ductile iron or HDPE.
I've broken plenty of Schedule 40 pipe
No,
with my bearing.
and maybe you need to limit it to the three.
I just start with limited to three and, you know, and even when you say HDPE, it's gotta be a certain schedule.
Oh, yeah, that'll open up a whole nother can of
Yeah.
worms, because the engineer will tell you, it's like, okay, this section needs to be HDPE,
Alright,
and then
but
you'll,
whether it's SR7 versus SR fifteen.
they'll spec it in,
Yeah.
and you look into it, you'd be like, yes, that's okay. So I did sit in on a piping class, and the gentleman was going over all the pros and cons of all the piping and
Yeah.
this and that, and it was interesting. And somebody in the class, there were huge classes, maybe 100 guys per class was in there, and one of the guys asked, okay, after all that, what pipe would you put in the ground in your district? And he hemmed around a little bit, so they all got their own points, but he said I would put in double. So I thought that was interesting, but they all had, each brand had great points.
Okay, one more question. Not with the, not with this section, I'm done with that.
High density, is it high density or high pressure?
What do you mean?
For the poly.
I always got HDPE.
Yes, it's high density polyethylene.
And see, like C900, you always want the 18 or the other size, but not there's like 3 grades. And we do not want one of them. So we're gonna go to then to the developers extension, the section 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're gonna look at that some more.
So we got, looked at some of it and we were talking about.
Right,
I had to make notes in that section rather than in the spec section.
question, this is a philosophical question for manuals. My training's always been that if there's specs being called out by an agency, you reference the specs, you don't say what the specs are. I'm open either way.
Yeah, I don't. Bother me.
You mean by like, what do you mean, reference the specs, you would reference?
But like, for example, Department of Health has a spec for when you open up for fire flow, what's the minimum pressure? It's on all the systems, you know, across the system,
Okay,
as an example. We had something in there, it's like, well, yeah. You know, the issue on profiles, 9.2.4. You know, if people are clever. They just take a 6-inch piece of pipe as a compact and burying this thing at these different points, and then you don't have the pothole. And then you just pull it up and you're done. You know, I'm trying to say, in other words, kind of like, in other words, like they can get the whole system in, energize it, you know, pressurize it. But if you take like a 6-inch PVC, you know, just like cheap stuff, just put it vertical. so you can touch the top of the pipe. And then you have your elevation at crossing in the whole 9 yards. You don't have to come back in and pothole.
Yeah, your guy, the port or the district's employee should be there
Yeah, I agree.
every step of the way, and he's making notes.
Okay,
He's making notes as he goes, hey, they put in 200 feet today,
Right.
36-inch bury depth, we
Okay.
are 50 feet off shoulder, we're
we're
wherever.
trying to get this issue of like when they do the as, for example, in the consolidation thing. In this whole process, basically didn't have any as-bills being
I
created.
know. So your gentleman that's out there, your employee, should be making as-bills.
Okay,
Now, as-bills are required for them to
Yeah.
keep too.
yeah,
So you kind of combine both of them
Right.
and then say, yes, this is accurate. You sit down with your employee. And then that gets sent over to the engineer and gets sent back to you in one proper form.
right. I'm just trying to prevent digging. So that's how you reference the pothole. I mean, that's a way to do it, okay?
Well, I think they're telling you the potholing shall be required at all utility crossings. So they're
Oh.
wanting not to hit them. So if the engineer says there's a sewer line there or there's a phone line there, they're supposed to pothole ahead of time before they just take their bucket and dig through.
Oh, that's what they mean by pothole,
Yeah.
not after the fact?
Not after the fact, that's required
Okay.
at all utility crossings, so they want you to pothole ahead of time
Okay.
before you start ripping
This
stuff
is
out.
prior.
Yeah, that's the way yes, I believe that's true. Okay,
Okay, okay, so does the term pothole mean prior? Cause to me, it could be post or pre.
clearances between water main and underground utilities shall be shown, so the clearances between the water mains and the underground utilities shall be shown at all utility crossings, so they would, normally the sewer might be low.
Yeah,
Of
no,
course,
no.
and then the water main would be coming over the
Yeah.
top. But what they want you to do is, before we send the
No,
water main over,
I'm with,
the districts that see where the sewer is.
right, where I'm fighting is the issue
Okay.
that is,
I think this is pre,
huh?
this is pre.
Right, cause on the one hand, I see that you dig, you see, you make sure your elevation is. On the other side, when you're done, you got this thing in here and okay, where's this water line relative to this?
Right. And I think that's what they're wanting to do pre, cause they know that there's a
Yeah.
sewer line there and they want.
Pothole is referred to as before.
Yeah, and they
It
want
is?
you
You're
to
digging-
show
yeah.
the port
Okay,
that the sewer line is really
That's fine.
here. We are going to be up here.
That's
We
fine.
do have our clearance.
I'm-
So really, in construction, it refers to the digging small controlled test holes, often via vacuum excavation.
Yeah.
To safely locate and expose underground
Fine.
utilities such as pipes or cable
And-
before major excavation.
yeah, and see,
Yeah, that's what I
because nobody was doing all the posts. We were basically potholing,
After the fact to
Yeah.
figure out where you were.
yeah,
With the guy keeping the as-built, this is happening
Okay.
beforehand.
okay.
It should be pretty good. We made that one change for 18-inch.
Oh, okay, so going back to this potholing, 2 lines down, there's a line that says when possible. I don't think that should be in there.
Which section? are you at?
What, 9.2.4,
Water main profiles and finished grades shall be depicted on the same sheet as their corresponding plans when possible. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. Isn't it required?
Well, it's when possible on the corresponding.
On the
plan.
plans, on the drawing. If it's,
Okay.
if it's too busy there, they might have two sheets to.
That's
As
fine,
they shall be depicted, so you shall still do them,
yeah, okay, fine,
but
yeah, fine,
they trying to suggest making sure. it
that's
goes on the
fine,
same page.
I'm fine. You're the one that has to administer this, I'm just pointing out that,
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's. Sometimes you gotta read it twice.
It did talk about 942, it
Okay,
talked
so-
about easements.
so then the next line down, if a developer cannot provide design. In both plan and profile format, design and construction procedures. That is sure, a little confusing here.
Construction procedures that assured vertical conflicts are avoided and existing railroad utilities are protected must be submitted in detailed fashion. That is a busy sentence.
Yeah,
That's the sentence I write at 9 o'clock at night.
okay, can you clean it up a little? If it has to have more sentences, fine. It's just, I'm a little confused. I know what we're trying to do, I got that. I guess what I'm trying to say, there shouldn't be an if, it's required, isn't it? Like you said, working all these specs is gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, it's not, with the potholing, doesn't it already answer this? Cause it says up here that it shall be required if there's any crossings at all, that we're gonna pothole ahead of time basically to find them. But then it says if developer cannot provide the design in both plan and profile format, design and construction procedures that assure vertical conflicts are avoided and existing buried utilities are protected must be
I'd
submitted.
like that section reworked a little. I'm not sure.
It's a little involved on that last go around.
I wanna send that back up to management, and say, look at,
Travis,
yeah.
can you fix that, Travis? I'm just kidding.
Just rework that and send it back to us when you get a chance. That last half of that whole,
They did talk about easements and Travis was bringing that up 2, 3 meetings ago. 15 foot is what it says in here, okay?
and
15 foot.
Minimum.
yeah, no, but it's, and then you guys told me something, and then I wanted to make sure because I had this issue. Okay, so when we put this down the alley,
You don't have 15, you don't, talking
Well-
15 feet on either side,
well, okay.
so a 30-foot alley, no.
You guys explained it to me before, but somehow I've lost it in translation. Okay, I'm okay with the easements in the road right of ways. We got plenty of room there, okay? And it shouldn't be 15, it should be 30. Just get the whole damn thing and be done with it. Okay? Okay, back up. When we're dealing with the plat of Allyn, where it's private roads, so we have this qualification, which is the majority of where the port's building's gonna be for a while. It's 30 feet. It's a 30-foot easement. They gotta get it.
It's okay, Trevor. It is good. I think I can.
Oh, you wanted it off?
No, I'm kind of.
Yeah, anything warming up would be nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it.
I'm a little cool. I was sweating before I got here and now I'm cooling down.
I got soaked today, I'm cold, so. So what do you
So
think?
it does state normally utility easements would be a minimum of 15 feet. In width, and piping will be installed no closer than 5 feet from the easement's edge. That's a bad sentence,
Well, it's
because it just says, it doesn't quantify what normally really means.
Right,
So what's the situation where normally it's a minimum of 15 feet?
we
So-
have two situations in your service area, for sure. You have public roads and private roads. Okay? Fundamentally. The public roads, fine, whatever you wanna do there, but in the private roads. Most of the private roads here are this plat of Allen. Get the whole 30 feet.
Well, I think what the paper's saying. And maybe it should say. And it says minimum, but it should say 15 foot. Easement, and they want 5 feet from the shoulder of the easement, so they really
Right.
want.
No, I
The
know,
pipe
I
in
was
the
up there.
middle,
I-
and it's 15 foot to run a backhoe down and dig a ditch.
no, I
and
agree, I agree,
fix your stuff.
but I'm saying in the plat of Allen, do not even mess around with 15 on the roads. Go 30 and be done with it.
Well, this doesn't just say just roads, this is 15 foot cutting up somebody's side
Well,
of the
then
house.
but then we have to break up this, because. You got,
If you're in the road, then you already have
Well,
the
here's
money
the-
to do it this a minute.
here's the problem, if you're talking about between houses and the plat,
Sure,
we only got 10 feet.
it says right here, we got 15.
Okay, so, but the very next section says private roads. And it says.
No, 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 no,
yeah,
no, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, okay,
Okay.
we're working several different things here simultaneously.
Right, but
Let's
this
back
is,
up.
so. What really, there should be a defining line between alleys
yes,
and mains,
that's for sure.
okay? And alleys, you're gonna want 15 feet on either side,
Okay, so how does,
which gives you the 30 feet that's in the alley anyway, correct?
there's only 20 feet,
Only 20 feet in and out,
yeah,
so.
10 is one guy, 10's the other,
I see the problem here.
yeah.
So easements should be written in the form of alleys and mains. With different easement amounts for each. Because literally what you're saying is you can only have a 20 foot easement in an alley. You can't have 15 feet on either side.
Yeah, or I can only
It's
have,
impossible.
I can only get, and the issue I'm having, for example, it's not some, like where I'm talking about developing. It's not a problem, because I own both sides,
Right,
but 20 is the max, okay? And I'm gonna give you the max.
and that's 20 from
Ten.
property line to property line.
Right, but there's only, but when I go further up. I got another property owner on one side and me on the other, he doesn't wanna give me an easement. Then all I can give the port is 10 feet. In an alley, and one of the lines I'm looking at is running in an alley. Because we don't wanna rip up the asphalt and run a new, 8 inch or what have you, and on Blackwell.
We gotta keep in mind too on this, the same as the specs and everything, this is minimum. 15. The engineers are gonna come through and they're gonna, and all this, hey, where's our easement at on this? Yeah, you got 30 foot easement, or this whole section here is dedicated to these utility
Okay,
easements.
but,
But I got you
Yeah.
that one section that you're coming up on.
Yeah.
You're like, it's gonna be 10 foot, I don't know what to tell you.
yeah, well,
Why is it 10? Because,
because. You have, like, take, this is a block and this is a block and here's your alley, okay? Because the county let the plat expire.
okay,
Everybody, they have this lot, but everybody owns the center line, okay?
correct,
So basically, I can only give you an easement, if I don't own this one, but I own this one, I can only give you 10, not the other 10.
well, we're gonna have to talk to that guy and he's.
Sometimes that doesn't work.
But we got one for sure that doesn't work, that you'll know.
And
the
we have
name.
some that just aren't, they don't seem to wanna be contacted, or they don't.
They're not, I've contacted the one party several times and they haven't called me back.
I'm just saying, you can change that to 10 foot minimum and then that would fix this, but 10 foot's
I
getting
think,
too small. for
well, I think
repairs.
that in the case of an alley. Case of an actual alley.
Yeah.
Then we would have a 10 foot minimum,
Yeah.
and then it would just be written
And
into the plan.
see, here's the thing, okay, here's the weird part, okay, really weird. So remember, I can only give you an easement for this, right? But I, as the owner of this parcel. Have the right to egress and ingress across this whole 20 feet,
There you go.
but I can't give you a 15 foot, I can only give you,
I'm with you.
yeah.
The other thing is, if you're gonna put alleys and you're gonna put all this definition of stuff, it could get a little weird. What is really the true definition of an alley? I mean,
We can just say it's the plat of Allyn alleys. That's already defined.
there's some kind of description. I mean, is an alley a dead end?
No.
Pass through
No,
road,
no,
what is?
no, I'm only using the plat as
Yeah.
and I would
I'm
think.
just saying, if you're gonna put it in the verbiage, you might wanna, what defines an alley? Cause somebody's gonna come by and say, well, it's an alley.
We just.
Well,
need to
just
keep it-
explain that the plat of Allen has alleys divided between the blocks.
Right,
Okay,
And and when you need an easement for utilities in the alley,
of the plat,
that's the only
Right.
time that this 10 foot minimum came.
right, the rest of the time it's 15
The
foot.
rest of it is 15.
Okay, now, okay, so we're all agreement there for a moment, hold that thought for a second. So the issue about coming down between houses, the county allows you to build 5 feet off the line.
Yeah,
On these houses here, we got a situation where I have an easement down the middle for storm drainage. And basically it's right down the fence line. But what I'm trying to say is you only got 10 or 11 feet between houses.
Yeah, but all this comes into play with the engineers, so lots of times at a cul-de-sac or something like that.
Okay,
You want to extend your main to the farthest point, the contractor
And
says it.
and this is probably, I'm bringing up the exception.
Right,
And let's just say.
so normal operation would be, it says in this writing somewhere that. The water main shall be extended to the farthest point of the property so that in the future somebody could tie into it, right? So the
Right.
developer would have to do that, and then, like in a cul-de-sac, this is where the engineers come into play, like, okay, I got
Sure.
2 lots. We're gonna come up right through the end of the cul-de-sac, these houses are gonna have to sit over
We
here,
just,
but if you're.
I agree, I totally,
Existing, it could get a little weird,
and I totally agree, the issue is we got a screwed up plat, okay?
oh boy.
And the ports, most of the port service area is in this screwed up plat. And so we have all these kind of, quasi exceptions. I got some other points here. You'll love me. You're gonna love me. And if we wanna stop at any time, we're an hour and a half into this.
Yeah, I think we're.
Let's just do one more. You'll love this one. 9.4. Yeah, facility placement. Dedicated to the district. That cannot happen in the plat of Allyn. I read up the legal definition of dedicate to utility, to a government agency. That just won't be able to happen in the Allyn. I mean, even the road right of ways. And I don't say that we solve this. This may be one of those that you kind of pass on to
So
your.
you said it's in facility placement or the right, public right of way portion?
Well, it says facility placement, there's this thing that says. The second line, it talks about utility easements dedicated to the district. There can't be any the easements are not dedicated in the plat. You
Because
have,
of the nature of them, you just get granted access.
you get easements, you don't get dedication. If you look up the legal definition of dedication when it comes to easements.
Or it could just be changed to recorded utility easements to the port.
Yes,
You just remove dedicated.
yeah, I'm just saying you cannot get to dedicated.
That's fine. I mean, that's easy enough because, you get
Yeah,
an
I'm
easement
not-
recorded and then that's
I'm just
that.
saying, there's a legal definition and we can't do that in the plat.
That's easy enough to just remove.
Okay, we'll stop there. I mean, that's a good grind to go through and.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
like you said, it's just gonna be that way and we'll knock it out little by little.
no, it's fine.
I
Travis, are you okay with everything?
Yeah, see what, now I need to just take all this. Make adjustments to my master copy. That's a digital version.
Are you okay with how it's going?
Yeah, no, this is what I need.
Yeah,
So that when I don't, well, because I have to start dedicating time to getting this wrapped up, because I want to put together a comprehensive package.
Yes,
Of all the things that we can finish now as
Yeah.
fast as possible, so that we can get it over to whatever engineering firm is going to. Put together our water system plan update
yes,
and know that they don't need to do this stuff, we're good with it.
right.
and it's important to get standardized, and this is how we're functioning,
Yeah.
this is gonna take us the next 5, 10
This-
years,
this-
this is the way it is.
Yeah, and this is a big part of putting us in a position where. We don't have to come up with a massive amount of money
Right,
to get this finished,
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah, the bulk of it's here,
right?
the bulk of it's here, there's gonna be some.
I outlined, and we'll discuss it at another meeting, but I outlined for Travis taking, like the city of Chehalis. It's different, it's totally different environment, but it has lots of stuff, okay? In their water system plan, and this is one that's recently adopted.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ugly. I mean, it has water rights, it has contamination areas.
Oh, boy,
I mean, it has a lot of crap in it, but. I was looking for the structure and the types of points that would pertain to the port. And so I kind of highlighted what I felt the committee and the staff could do. What maybe that could be sent out to the satellite management agency and what would be the engineering as a starting point. we're gonna discuss it
Right.
and more because you may say, Jeff, you're crazy, don't do that, you know, but it just need, I'm trying to look at ways that the port can get this plan done for, you know, a reasonable number, and not break the bank.
Right, I agree, and do you think there's at least 2 more sessions on this? Probably 3, 4, 3?
I think there's only one more session on what I've printed out here with sections
Okay.
9.
No, well, there's a little, one more on that maybe,
Okay.
but look, like you said. We're making it better. This just eliminates problems in the future.
It should be a real good foundation, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean it's.
No, it's kind of, it's, I always call it like this. They gave you the Bible, right? It
Right,
seems like a lot of things don't fit sometimes. Or my comprehension of it doesn't seem to fit the situation.
Right. I agree.
So anyway, okay, so going back to the agenda. I think we'll just table, if you're agreeable to this, the issue on as-bills, new business.
Yeah, no, I got no problem. with that.
Okay.
We've got a meeting set up on the 17th
To meet with,
to really kind of go over what we found in our field observations, and then we'll have more to bring back to committee at that point.
right,
Yeah.
he met with, Michael on it, and then today when they were meeting, I covered it too, and basically we've agreed to start, you know,
Right.
say, okay, you know, this doesn't fit. So anyway,
Is your gentleman gonna be up there when Pape and Sons is doing their
Yeah.
job? He's gonna be up there, should be keeping a daily log.
Yep.
Hey, we started at 8:15. They got the vault in today, they got 300 feet of pipe in today, everything's. He should be keeping a journal and photographs,
Yeah, he's gonna do
take photographs of all that.
and a few measurements.
Okay, I do have an inspection form that I kind of use, it's not too
I'd like
bad
to
to
have
go
that.
by.
No, yeah, like
It's
an
not bad.
inspection form that you use for like logging.
Yeah, for the log, the
I
daily
would love
logs.
that. I'd love to have that.
Okay,
Cause right now what we're using was a maintenance log form.
Yeah.
Which corrects a bunch of lines and, you know,
That's
you'll put dates in, which is, you know, it's adequate, but.
I'll show you what we got,
I'd
it's
like to
not
see what you
perfect,
got.
but.
No, but
I try to take pictures, I try to take.
Yeah.
I try to take weather conditions, you know, it was raining today, was this, I try to write all that in there.
Sure.
Okay, well, I'll get you that tomorrow.
No, if I get a digital copy, it'd be great, so that I can actually revise it. If I think there's revisions that need to be made. Or maybe just add something to it.
Sure.
As far as, so nothing, at this point, we won't cover anything on the general water system discussion.
No.
At this point. So we'll table that. Next meeting, May 6th.
Yep.
And we just have to live with that schedule at this point because we don't know Scott's schedule, but he should be
He
here.
should be fine, I think he said he was fine for after that.
And that water, planning meeting that you guys had down at Lake Limerick, that's
Yes,
next,
I think it's next Tuesday or this coming Tuesday, second Tuesday of the month.
second Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be actually,
A little later.
it'll be the 14th, I bet.
Yeah,
be
and there's
fairly
no
late.
honest guest speakers this
Yep.
time, which I think it's fine. We have plenty of stuff to talk about. But it's gonna be a little calmer, a little slower meeting, cause, and I'm gonna talk about all that there. So,
Yeah, no problem. Okay, next thing is, so that's next meeting. Public comment. Nobody in the audience, anybody on Zoom? My back's different, lifted. I've been moving.
moving, like moving.
I'll
I'm
explain,
sorry.
I'll explain more in a second.
Yeah, I don't wanna ever do that again.
Nobody,
else?
okay, seeing that there's nobody on Zoom, nobody in the public, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it. All those in favor?
Hey.
Thank you. Anyway, no, I'm working on my dad's and mom's estate
Oh,
and there's a lot of stuff.
yeah, that movement is not, it is great.
No,